So I'm just going to tie this off right here and use this as a measuring guide to find the exact length so that I know that I'm not going to have to make multiple trips to the store. So I think the easiest way to route this thing would be just along these top tubes right here. Nothing crazy. I don't want to go under anything. You want to leave a little bit of slack, obviously. So this is what I came up with. So I'm going to measure that distance, and then I'm going to go from the inside where it's going to come out to the firewall and measure from that point on the firewall to where I want to mount the actual throttle cable control. Alright, so you can see right here's the gas pedal, and whenever you press on it, that's the cable. So I want to come from that general point. Alright, so I have my cable tied off at the firewall where it's going to come out, or my wire, and so if I want to run it all the way up to where the cigarette lighter is, that's where I'm going to cut this piece. Alright, so I'm roughly coming up with 65 to 70 inches because I have a knot there, and you know, it's not exactly exact on the end there. So I need 5.5 to 6 feet. Alright, so I just got this at the store. And that's what it looks like. This one is 5 feet long. Alright, so you can see right there where the throttle cable goes in. It's got that little red orange cap right in the center of my screen. I trimmed the carpet back and drilled a hole, and that's where I'm going to feed the choke cable through. Alright, so now I'm just going to pop this plastic piece off. Let's see if I have an option. Alright, so I got my hole drilled, and this just is pretty standard. It just has a nut on the back side that holds it in there. So now I'm just going to run this cable and route it properly and run it through that hole in the firewall. Alright, so feed this through, and then I'm going to retrieve it on the other side. So right there it is. And yeah, I think that's gonna work. Alright, to prevent this from sliding through the hole that I drilled, I just put this hose and this clamp on it so it can't go any further down. And I'll have to see if it's gonna come out this way, but I don't think that'll be an issue. Alright, so I have the car, I set the choke as far as it would go on the inside to simulate, you know, wide open throttle. So then I just twisted this throttle wide open. That's wide open all the way up right there. So now I just have to tie this off in that position and see if that adjustment is fine. So I'm gonna get this thing tied up. Alright. Alright, so I got the thing tied off, and I'm going to put a zip tie on the very back side just to keep it from slipping off. You can see it's got a little bit of play, and when the throttle's fully closed, you know, you don't want it to be tugging on it, so that's got a good amount of play in it. I'm also going to put a zip tie right here just to keep it sturdied up, but yeah, that looks pretty good, so let's get that finished up. Alright, so you can see my two zip ties here. That one looks good, and that one looks good, so just trim these off. And that's wide open throttle, so take it on the inside. Alright, so you know, I gotta fix that. I'm gonna have to put a screw to hold that down, but you know, it seems to be working fine, so I'm gonna get a screw in that, and then we'll take it down the road and see how it works. Alright, so now it doesn't pull the faceplate off. Oh, that looks pretty good. So as you can see, it's, you know, this, my foot's off the gas. This, you know, you can rev the car with your hand here, so. But, alright, so here we are to test it out. So I'm just gonna set my speed about 45 to 50. And as you can see, feet out on the gas. Right now we're holding a steady 45. So yeah, it's pretty nice. I've been messing around with it here for about the last 5 to 10 minutes. So as you can see, we're still holding, you know, 45, 50 miles an hour. You do have to, you know, if you hit a hill, you have to manually compensate it. I mean, it's a manual system, so I was looking at actually buying a legitimate cruise control for this car, and the old boy that had a parts car, I think he had wrecked the car, or someone had wrecked the car, and I actually went and looked at it. And I bought some aluminum wheels off of it because it had aluminum wheels on it. And I asked him about the cruise control components, and he said that he wanted $100 for the cruise control components. And I thought about doing that, but you know, he lived an hour away, so I don't know if it would have been wise, because if I would have forgot something or missed a part that I really needed, you know, I wouldn't have had that part. I would have had to drive back an hour. And so yeah, I think this was the best option, and this is just a junker car, so you know, I don't have, yeah, this car is super cheap, so I think this is gonna work just fine. Yeah, I mean, one thing I do want to mention, that if you're, you know, obviously this is not safe. It's not a very modern, safe way to do this. So if you're not competent in your driving abilities, I mean, I wouldn't do this, but you know, if you have common sense, you should be good. So yeah, it's working. I'm happy it's working. So